Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if this is your first time tuning in to the HerbMan show, go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right there and hit that notification bell so that you never ever miss what we bring to the table. Hey, look, man, I just wanted to come to you guys on this great morning and just talk to you guys about the greatness of traditional African medicine, all right? And I know that right now we feel as though we don't understand enough about herbal remedies and herbal healing enough to incorporate that into our lives, enough to have this as an alternative method to our health. But I'm telling you that these herbs are real. They've been here since the beginning of time. And in actuality, a lot of our medicines are from these herbs, all right? A lot of the active ingredients derive straight from the herbal community, okay? And so you definitely want to understand that if you know nothing else. Now, in slew of that, there have been ancient traditions that have been steadily intact over the years and have been really trying to push the concept of traditional medicine, all right, within their communities, within their country, within their continent and their culture. And one of them has been the Ayurvedic community, all right. They have really gotten their traditional medicine out on the forefront. And we still have ancient traditional methods like the traditional Chinese medicine and the African traditional medicine, or the traditional African medicine, all right? And right now, during this crisis that we're going through with the virus, there have been a lot of people in the herbal community that are really trying to highlight the efficacy of herbs during the pandemic, during this particular episode that we're having. And there are a lot of geniuses in our herbal community that are really putting their heads together to try to allow people to understand that herbs can help, especially as being a preventive tool for us in this particular climate. And so right now, without us even knowing, the Chinese medicine, the traditional Chinese medicine, has really been coupling together with Western medicine to help out in the particular pandemic in their country, all right? And I'm talking about over 92%, it's said, that are using traditional Chinese medicine alongside modern medicine, all right? And so we're looking at places like Africa, and we're saying, okay, over 80% of the people there depend on traditional African medicine, all right, day in and day out. And it used to be like that in China. However, modern medicine took over and traditional Chinese medicine kind of took the backside. And now during this particular pandemic, now we see traditional Chinese medicine coming back. But in Africa, there's still a large group of population that goes out into the traditional African medicine, men and women, on a day-to-day in and out basis, whether it be due to the economic disparities or whatever, or even if it's just due to the efficacy of these traditional healers. We want to highlight that because you got to think about what I'm saying. Over 80% of the people in this country go to traditional African medicine, men and women. That not only is telling me about an economic disparity, but it also tells me about the efficacy of the traditional medicine in those countries, okay? It also tells me about how strong that traditional African medicine community is. It also tells me that if you are relying, if 80% of the population, which is way more than America is relying on traditional African medicine, men and women, primarily for their primary care, and they are still being strong, they're still, having babies, they're still being able to live out prosperous lives and all of this type of stuff, and all you have is traditional African medicine, men and women, that speaks to the strength and to the depthness and to the efficacy of traditional African medicine. And we've been here since the beginning of time. When we're talking about Hesse-Ra, one of the first doctors ever recorded in history, Hesse-Ra, all right? When you're talking about Imhotep, All right, you're talking about Pesachet, one of the first female practitioners ever recorded in history. When you're talking about Merit Patel, one of the first female practitioners ever recorded in history, comes from the African traditional medicine. All right, and so this is ours to claim. This has always been ours, and things have derived out of the African medicine. When you're talking about European herbalism, it basically came from Southern herbalism, which came from the Native Americans and the slaves that were over here, who brought their African culture here and just mingle in with the Native Americans. And now you have Southern herbalism, which then turned into European herbalism, all right, or Western herbalism. So again, we have always been here. We always have understood herbs. We've always understood roots, bark, stems, flowers, blossoms, rhizomes. We've always understood that dichotomy. Now, in the traditional African medicine, you had two types of medicine men. You had the spiritual medicine men, which were the diviniers, and you had the herbalists. All right, and now in some cultures they may call them sangomas. Some cultures they may call the herbalists inyanas. All right, but at the same time, you've always had these. And then there were some people who had both. They would combine both modalities in order to come about with a result for that individual, understanding that mind, body, and spirit are all conducive to one's health. Holisticness has been out here since the beginning of time. And so that's why I always encourage my listeners that if you're really looking for healing, not treating your symptoms, okay? We're not talking about treating your symptoms. We're talking about healing. Then there's going to be an obligation that comes from you as well as the practitioner, all right? We're just here to provide you the space to allow healing to come to you, but it comes to you through you. It's just by way of creating the atmosphere for that to come. And so all we do as practitioners is create the atmosphere for your healing journey to begin in, for it to start. And you have to open up so many different things in order to let healing in. That you really have to understand that from a biological standpoint, you know, and this is so important. So we're going to keep on busting you guys upside the head with the importance of traditional African medicine, why we here at HerbMan Inc. is really pushing forth herbalism in the black community, especially when we're talking about health disparities in our community, and this being one of the ways that we can offshoot some of these disparities. All right, if we learn about herbalism, get back into getting our hands dirty in the ground again, and getting back one with nature, so that we can understand how we can save ourselves. Remember that the future of medicine is no medicine at all if you practice self-healing. All right, now I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do. Go tell somebody to go tell somebody. Until next time. Peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.